Hi, I'm Travis Dougherty. I'm the Maryland Relay Manager, and I'm here today to share a little bit about the history behind Relay. However, before we can talk about Relay, we need to understand the technology that was actually developed first, an example of which I have here next to me, one of the very first original TTYs. So in the year 1962, a gentleman by the name of Robert Whitebrecht, known to everyone as Bob, he was a deaf scientist, engineer who lived in California, successfully found a way to convert sound into text. And he tested this via shortwave radio signals. Later on, a friend of his, James Marsters, who was also deaf, a dentist and an inventor of sorts, saw this and suggested to Bob about possibly pairing it with the current telephonic technology. He also suggested bringing in a friend of his, Andrew Sachs, whose name you might recognize from the famous Saks department store on Fifth Avenue in New York City. Andrew being the grandson of its founder, who also happened to be deaf and was an inventor in his own right and an electrical engineer. He came on board with the project, and the three gentlemen, after some time, successfully paired the two technologies in 1964, allowing messages to be transmitted sound into text via phone lines. Now, at the same time, Western Union, who at that time disseminated information, news, and newsletters to different cities throughout the United States via these TTY machines, was planning on sunsetting them and disposing of them because of the advent of computer technology. Now, Western Union was under the larger organization of AT&T at that time. So deaf people realized the potential, and they contacted the NAD and several other organizations in the year 1968, and after much discussion reached out to AT&T and asked if they wouldn't mind donating all of these TTY machines that they were planning on disposing of. And NAD agreed to be responsible for collecting those machines. AT&T was agreeable to this. It was a tax write-off for them as an organization, the most important caveat being that NAD would pick up all the machines. They agreed to this without really realizing the scope and magnitude of that request, because these machines were located all throughout the United States. So NAD and the Alexander Graham Bell Association partnered and founded TTY, an organization now more commonly known as Telecommunications for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, Inc. And TTY was founded with the charge of collecting these TTY machines from throughout the United States and then redistributing them, installing them, and providing training to their users. So that's a brief history of the TTY. Now, a deaf individual could receive one of the machines like the one I have here for free, but they were still responsible to pay for the coupler being another Bob Whitebrecht invention. And I can show you what one of the original ones looked like right here. So essentially, with a few simple modifications, this coupler could be connected to the TTY, and then a person could successfully type and transmit messages via the phone lines to another individual who could read them and respond in kind. And that was the advent of the TTY as we know it today. Now, Bob went on to invent a smaller, more compact version of the same technology that I have here, which due to its size was a huge improvement, and other people quickly followed suit. So you can see the evolution of TTY technology, which was really due to the work of all the folks behind the scenes pushing for better telecommunication access for deaf and hard of hearing people. Without their efforts, we would not have the relay that we have today. So we are so grateful, and we want to recognize everything that they have done for the last 60 years to make it possible for us to have better communication. We look forward to a very bright future and to continuing our fight for better communication access for all. Thank you.